Okay, hi, and thank you for joining. If you're joining live, welcome from YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, and then also from my school. So, um, I got to post this on my school too as well. So let's get started. I usually try to come at 8:30, running a little bit behind this morning. So we're going to start with. We always have start with the playbook, day trading playbook journal. That's where we list our stocks. Right, put the music. Okay. Okay, that's where we're gonna list our stocks so we can create our watch list. And then I always start with my journal in the morning because this morning was an interesting one. So we have to get our mind clear and focused. And so what I do is this gives you a area to write your thoughts, and then I always write my rules that I will obey, and then I will write in things that I need to uh, do better today. So it says I need to focus, and I also need to one trade a day because I'm focusing on just not too many trades. I usually can take like 30 to 60 trades, so I'm just trying to do one or two trades a day, and then I just kind of straight changing up my strategy a little bit. And hi, my name is Carolyn Savage. I've been day trading for 5 years. I'm a profitable day trader, and I'm here to teach you how to find stocks to trade that are actually active and moving and have the volume and volatility. So if you're new to trading, then you'll be able to follow my method, and it's a CEST method. I got it from the Trading Channel. He said it was up for a condition entry, exit, and then you want to take profit. So exit is like your stop loss, but you want to have a condition and a catalyst, like why is the stock moving up, and then the condition is when you will get in a trade. So it has to be certain criteria, or your indicators have to light up, or show you something for you to get into the trade, and not just I think it's going to move up, let me get into the trade, or a friend told you that it was, get in this trade now, or somebody in your Discord told you to get in the trade now, or I told you to get in the trade, whatever. But no, I never tell you to get in the trade. I'm always going to tell you what is the best stock to trade, or I'll just give you a list of like we're doing today. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me see. Okay, let me go to share my screen. All right. All right. Okay, so I'm going to be switching between both screens. This is my Thinkorswim platform, and this market is, we got like 10 minutes to the market. Market open, a little bit over 10 minutes. Okay, so this one popped up on the scanner, and it is high of day is 119. It's HCWD, and it's a biologics company. And it looks like yesterday the news was a press release that it reports the first quarter earnings. It's called an earnings beat. So they beat their projected revenue, and their earnings per share a little bit higher. I think it was 37 cents earnings per share, but it beat it by 44. It went to 44%. So you get earnings per share is 44 cents instead of 37 cents. So that's called an earnings beat. And that was yesterday though. So I'm not sure about this one because I have this as one of my rules: buy the rumor, sell the news. So yesterday it had news, but sometimes it's a continuation. So in this case, it may be called a pump and dump, where yesterday's news, and then as soon as it gets to a high, and then it might dump. So we'll check and see on that one. I'm not sure because it doesn't have any new news today. Um, I'm not sure if I'll trade it, but it is looking good. You want to look for higher highs. So earlier this morning, about like 7 a.m., that release, yeah, about 7 a.m., it just says market gainers. And so that's why it kind of just went up, and then, which is good, it went up and then it created a high, and then it dipped a little bit and then created a higher high. And now we're creating a higher high. And so it is above VWAP. So I'm going to write it in my journal, but I'm going to still just make sure that I kind of just watch it. Let's see. Okay, so we've got that one, and then we're going to write that in the book. Let me see. Put that on there. Oh, let's see. Okay, so we're gonna write then. We always write in the symbol, and then we're gonna see the percentage change is. Go to this one, this screen here. So the percentage change is 222%. So it's up by 220%. And we're going to look for stocks that are up by 20% or more. So that's from yesterday's close till today. So the close price till today is up by 200, now 23%. And then on this watch list, TDIC is still up, but I didn't like that one. It looked like a flat line. So look, see this screen. So this is what I do with the screener is, this is on the 5 minute. Let's see. Yesterday, I mean, on my other screen, it looked like a flat line. Yep, see, it's a flat line. It went down. So yesterday, damn, TDIC. Let me see this one. I just saw this one. WC. So we'll put, this is on our watch list, HCWB, and add that to the watch list. And then TDIC, I had it on there yesterday. Oh, HCWB. 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 Okay, and then TDIC. I could have swore I saw this one. Let me look at this one. Yeah, it closed at 80 cents. So that's pretty, yeah, that's up. Yeah, but I just don't like this. Oh my God, what is it? Why does it look like that? Oh, so goddamn. So yesterday it was wow. Dang, I think I looked at this yesterday. Yesterday it went all the way up to $26. How do you make this lights get back on? $26. What? What was the news yesterday? Let's see. I'm looking at the news to see what it was yesterday. US futures were higher. No, 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 that's not it. And then it's called Dreamland LDT. Um, yeah. So shares are holding their ground during Thursday's pre-market session. This follows a period of extreme volatility for the Hong Kong-based event manager. Um, shift in tech. Okay, so they plan to explore an AI-powered image library. According to the company, the agreement remains largely non-binding. There is a no assurance of definite deal. So see how that's a rumor. So let me see. That was after hours yesterday. So we always want to go back and see like how high did the stock go. I see. So I looked at it the other day, but I didn't trade it. I think I walked away from it. So wow. So it went from like $4 to $34 after hours. Oh my God. So then it went all the way freaking back down to 8 cents. Is that 8 cents? 80 cents. Oh my God. So now it's up to $1.56. That's crazy. I'm not sure if I want to trade that one. That one's not looking too good. Let me see. What's the 1 hour? Yeah, it's just a flat line. So that's what I don't want to see. I want to see, um, something that's kind of going higher highs. And then let's see what else. Okay, let's move on from that one. Not, I don't like that one. What we can always do is leave it on your watch list and just chum check back on it and see if it's doing anything. But that was yesterday's news as well. This one's moving up. Okay, so on this one, what we're gonna do is, okay, so we got it's up by 220%. I want you to mark down, if you have a journal or hopefully you bought one of these, and you can look at the link in the bio, I mean in the description to grab the grab that journal too. So a high of day is 119. We want to write that in. And then volume weighted average price, VWAP, is 94 cents. This is that purple line there. So 94 cents. And it's definitely above that. So yesterday it closed at 33 cents, 33.7 cents. 30, I'll just say 33 cents. And then we want to check the volume. We want to make sure it has enough volume as well. So let's see. Wow, this one's hot. This one might do a continuation. So that it's 19 million shares in the last hour. That is a lot. And then I also checked the float on this one, HCWB. You can just check the float. There's a couple of different sites to check the floats, but I'll just, what is the float? I'll just change the name here. W. Man, I had a morning this morning, boy. You have to. That's why I'm glad I meditate. I'm like, just don't sweat the small stuff, boy. Don't sweat the small stuff. That's all I can say. Um, let's see. Okay. Got a little lo-fi going on. Okay, yeah. Don't sweat the small stuff. What am I looking for? Okay. Oh, that's what I was looking for. Sidetrack. Okay, what's the float on WC? Okay, so it says it's approximately 6.5. So that gives you, I'm in this journal, which I'm day trading playbook journal. I created this journal as I'm trading. I always write in journals, and then so it gives me room to write all these things that I'm talking about. So it's about 6.15 million float, which is low, which is that what we're looking for. We're looking for a small cap, low float stocks. So, and the average is roughly, it says 6.73 million. So that's why it's kind of approximate. Let me see. Okay, so we got that. And then, so that is, so far so good. And then this RSI is up, it's over 70. But like we said, once the bell rings, we'll see what this stock will do. So you want to look for support. Recent support is about 107.21 here, because see how this was resistance just about. And then we always say resistance becomes, oops, there goes the bell. Let's go. Resistance becomes support. So then it's respecting that line there. So let's see if it'll drop below support. Most of the time it'll sweep up and then maybe go to a new high and down, but we'll see what this one will do. So let's see. Okay, so that was support there, and it looks like right now recent resistance is about 115. So I marked that off, and I marked that off with the yellow line because if it blasts through that, I am a range break trader on momentum, so we want that to just blast through there. But okay, so we're still going to be looking for stock to trade. Kind of watch that one. This one's heating up. Oh, I don't have my time and sales. Always, this is called time and sales, and you want to watch this because these are the actual shells being traded. So see, it's blasting through the 116, 115. So those are the actual buy and sells, and I call this red light, green light. And then this is my level two down here. I can take the news off too. Okay, so TDIC is going the opposite way. We also want to check on this one. This one's woo, that one's going down. This one is QUBT. That was the one I was just kind of looking at. I also try to stay with the stock prices between like $1.50 all the way up to $10. But as you see, like some of these are like might be a little bit over a dollar, as long as it's over a dollar. Um, so this one, see, is trading in the range. We'll see what's happening, battling. What else do we see here? This one is, oh my Jesus. We take some we just take off the watch list. Anything for me, I'm a long bias trader, so anything for me that's downtrending, I'm just going to take it off the watch list because with day trading, I find a new stock to trade every day. Lately, I've been doing something different where I hold. I'm using more. Doing. I guess it's more swing trading, but just doing more, adding to my long positions in my long-term account. TDIC. So you see how this one totally, yeah, that one totally rejected. That rejected VWAP. Okay, where's the other one? The HC, here it is. Oh God. Okay, there we go. So we still have to watch this one. Let me see. That one's going good. Let's see. Oh God. Okay. Nope, that one halted. And never think that you miss out on a trade. You always have to make a plan for the trade. Like I haven't made a plan yet, so I'm not tripping because I kind of wanted to make sure, it's not pumping up and then I get in, I don't have, if you don't have like that take profit target, then I just kind of want to be a little bit more sure, that's all. But this one's going good. I love this. So it went, as you see, it tested 115 a couple of times. It went over 116, 117, and then it just broke to 129. So that's what you definitely want to see. See that? It tested this that little resistance, 2 times, 2 candles, and then boom, blast, blast. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes. So we'll wait for that one to resume. Let me see. So if I were to get in this trade, I would wait for it to again, like get maybe once it halts, it usually will kind of go all the way down and then it'll bounce back up. But let's see, because it may bounce all the way down to this 107 support, or it might just go down to 115. That's a better look if it just bounced down to 115 or so and then did a continuation. So let's see. It has to be above, let me 122. And then this one, let me see. This one, this picture. Let's see. And I'm just writing down. I'm writing in my day trading playbook journal just like what I would do with this stock here, and then we'll look for some more stocks to trade. So let's see. Okay, so 9:33. So about 9:38, we'll look back at it. And what you can do is just put an alert. So if you're looking at something else, okay, so I'll put an alert so I'll make sure that I get back to that one. Let's see. Okay, so let's look at some other ones to trade. Okay, so this is my trade the pool scanner, and we'll see what else is going on here. BIYA. BIYA. So now it's BYIA. Let's see, BYIA. BIY. BIYA. BIYA. Okay, let's see what this one's doing. Okay, so what we're gonna do is what's the news? So that's the first thing I do is I'm gonna check on the news and see because you want a catalyst. Why is the stock price moving up? And this is called Baya International. You know what? I don't see anything on this one either. Um, let's see. It just says stock moved upwards by 43.6% to 111 during Friday's pre-market session. The company's market cap is at 3.1 million. That's very low. Low market cap. But nothing major. That's just nothing. So yeah, some things just move up because like let me see. There's no particular news on it. So I'm just going to look back and see what it was looking like. So I'm going back 180 days. The highest it looks like it's been is at $19.22, and then it kind of just been slowly dying. 9.97. And so we want to look for previous resistance. So 235 just about was a previous resistance. Let me see what day that was. That was April 30th. And then this more current resistance is about 185. So we could say this is a potential target, but we're just looking back at it. And we always say just look to the left to see basically the potential of that stock. But on no news, we're not sure how high it could go. So yesterday, after hours, it was $1.41. And look, it went all the way up to $1.40 so far. So let's see. So this one, it looks like support is about 116. So we want to mark that. And then I take it down to the 1 minute too if I want to see it a little clearer. 127 was the resistance at one point. Looks like, yeah. Okay, see now it's dropping below that previous resistance. 121 is VWAP. Okay, let's see this one. Okay, so BIYA. Did I put that on there? BIYA. BIYA. So that's what we have so far. So check that one out. BIYA. It's up by 59%. We'll see if this one's going to bounce. So see, this right down here is about 116 is support, but is it going to bounce off? It looks like it's going to bounce off of VWAP. And then want to check the volume too. Volume is about in the last hour about 5.3 million shares traded. Let me know if my music's too loud or not. If you guys can hear me okay. I don't have my mic today. 5.3 million shares. So we want to check the volume. It needs to be at least over a million shares traded in that last hour. You don't want low volume. And the volume, as you know, that's going to drive up the price. It's going to drive up the price or down, and you want the volatility. So when it goes down, it goes down hard. When it goes up high. You know, you just want those up and downs. You want that bounce and that volatility. And then you want enough volume because when you want to get filled for your order, suppose you want to buy 1,000 shares, 5,000 shares, you want it to be liquid, meaning that you can get in and out of a trade quickly. So that's why you want more volume. This one's heating up. This is my favorite stock right now. SNDK, SanDisk. Check out SanDisk. Do your own research on SanDisk. But it went from January, it was like $414 or so, and then it went all the way up to $1,600. So in the last few months, and just in the last I think it's been maybe about a week or so, it's went all the way up to 1,600 from let me see. So how many days? But yeah, this is a great stock right now. And you know, SNDK, it's about memory storage. And let me see. And then if there, there, of course, all these storage companies are teaming up with AI capabilities. So that's why everything's that sector is booming right now. Let me see, 20 days. Look at that, 1671. And I was able to catch that some of these moves. So this is amazing. So see how it went from about 1,087 all the way to 1671. And right now it's at 13,670. So it has pulled back. But those are the stocks. I don't trade those on a daily. I trade those in my long-term portfolio. Let me see. So oh shit, I keep missing these freaking moves because I'm talking. I hate that. That's why I don't really trade when I have to go live because I always be talking too much, but I'm missing moves. Okay, let's let this dip and then we'll look at this one again. Let's look back at this one. Let's see. So you see how VWAP volume weighted average price now it's up to 101. And then it really just dipped down to, what was the low on this one? Oh, 123. So see how it didn't go all the way down to this support. So that's lower highs. Okay, let's let that one dip. See, I knew this one. That looks so strange. So this one's bouncing off of VWAP. Let's see. Let's see what this is. I think I've heard of this one before. AUUD. Let's look at AUUD. Okay, so AUUD is why is it soaring on Friday? Shares are up during Friday's pre-market session. The company said Friday it filed a S4 registration statement for the SEC tied to its planned merger. Okay, planned merger with Fairmont Holdings. After the closing of the combined company will operate as MacArthur Finney and trade under the ticker MC. So let's see. So the a merger, and that's a big deal. So let's see. So VWAP is at $2. Today's Friday. AUUD. So let me see what we can always look for yesterday's close. I want to see what it closed at. It closed at 122 and now it's at $2.12. So it looks like let's put VWAP at about one. Excuse me. It's right. It hits bouncing off of VWAP now. So VWAP is like $2. So support I said 197, and then resistance it looks like about 214, and that is where it. See how many times these candles are hitting, and then they bounce down. So the price won't go above that, and then it went and did it one time and went all the way to 230. So that's good. And then this is called RSI, relative strength volume, and that is what's the volume compared to the previous candles. And then this is called MACD. That's my indicator down here. And it's going down, and so is this candlestick. So it's just showing is it converging. Shows when a change is being made, when it goes from up and then down, and then it converges. So that means that the price is down. So basically, are the bears in control or the bulls in control? So let's see that one. Let me put that on. Oh God. Somebody's dog. 71. So that one's 71% up. And then VWAP is $2. So I'm writing in my day trading playbook journal. This is how I write out my strategy. So that's if you see me looking down, that's what we are always doing. And you can purchase this journal. Just look at the link in my YouTube bio. So see how that's being pushed down because it made a new high, but not the high of day, but it made a high here, and then it just price was pushed down. So you see that shooting star candle now. See that, and see you can see the price is being pushed down. You got that long wick, and then it's being pushed down. I think I keep missing this move. Let me see. So a lot of times we're just sitting watching. Did I go back? Let me go back on this one and see. Okay, so that just want to look at previous highs. Previous high was 956, and let me see it. How are you guys doing this morning? I had a rough morning start. I had a good morning was good, and then it went bad, and now I'm like, you just got to get over it. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this one's heating up again. Let's do this one. Okay. Okay, so I want this one to go above this last candle, 133. So down here, this is called MACD. So this is open, and then the RSI wanted to be, I'd say about 68 to 70 here. So see how that's going up a bit, but you want it to be a little higher, and then the volume needs to come in. Let's go HCWD. So we're in at 130. And now I always write out in my journal. Also, like once I get in the trade, I'm gonna write that out in a journal entry. So I'm in HCWB. And we won't overstay our welcome. We want to just stay a little while. Maybe I'll make a new high, and then their stop should be, I would say, I'm putting my stop like right at 126. Okay, see, I just got a quick 10 cents. That's it. 10 cents times the number of shares. But we see it spiked up to a new high. And once it hits a new high, most of the time it's going to bounce back down. If it has enough volume, it's going to just keep shooting through that high and go even higher. But you just want to be careful. See how this huge candle, that was great. But we're trading off of yesterday's news, and that's why I'm afraid that it may just go to maybe 150 and then all the way tank for the day. So that's why I'm like, I'm getting used to this. After 5 years of trading, you kind of know. So get the money quick. And that's what we do. We make a trade within 5 minutes and we're done. I think I held that one for like 2 minutes. And then we're going to keep watching it. So once it made that 142 high, then see how it's going to bounce back down, but then hopefully it'll have a new low, so a higher low than the last time, and that lets you know that it's going to keep going, in that upward direction. And see, now it's being pushed down again. It's slow, but it's for show. But you see, we didn't shoot for the moon every time. When you get in at one, maybe if you would have got in at 115 to 142, awesome. But 130 to 140 is great. That's 10 cents, and you can do times 100 times 1,000. It's only $1 and something, $1.30. So if you have enough in your account, you can get quite a few shares on these smaller cap stocks, and that's why I trade those. Um, Let me see. Oh, look at SanDisk. So see something like this. This is a 1,300, almost a 1,400 um, per share stock. So this is something that you would trade on options, or if you had a large amount of money in your account. Or with me too, you can do fractional shares in on some platforms, and then that way you can still get quite a bit of money on those. So this has not got all the juice. It doesn't have a lot of juice. A lot of times we love these stocks, but this is the biggest move here at the bell. And then we'll see if it makes a few more moves. So we got that one move, which was great. This one is another one. So the what we have so far is BIYA, AUUD, looking at that one. And let me look back at that one because it looks like it's moving. AUUD. It was, oh no, it was up by 71%, and now it's about 61%. So it's moving down. And then we have HCWD, and I traded that one so far. Um, what was I looking at? This one's slightly, this is not, I don't like the way this one's looking. This one's kind of choppy. This DC TDCK. This is yesterday's news too, and so this one's heating up again. So see how it gives you opportunity to, it pulls back, and you see it didn't go too far, which is great. So if it pulled way back, you got to be careful, but it just barely pulled back. This one, we call it a nothing burger so far. What are you guys trading today? And do you always trade small caps, or do you guys like the Mag Seven? You guys like Tesla and was it Apple, Tesla, Microsoft? I love Nvidia. Nvidia is doing very well. Got to put my money back in it. I took some money off the table with Nvidia, but I was in at 192. So like I said, I do trade with my long term too. I don't day trade large caps. So this one's down today. So gosh, I didn't realize it went to 241 after hours yesterday. So it gives me an opportunity to brace that. This dog brace it. I'm not sure about. Okay. Anyway, sorry, sidetrack. Let's see. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're looking at HCWB, and you see this is good. So we got a little bit of upward trend, and it's higher high, higher high, higher low, but it's pretty boring. Okay, let's see what else we got. And so I'm just going to keep on moving until I see something that's moving. That's all we do. Day trading, you're just going to keep on looking for the hot stocks. Here's another one. PIII. I think that's I. So God, I don't know fast. PIII. Woo! What's going on with this? So the very first thing I'm going to look at is I see this uptrend. You see that uptrend? You see it? It's all those green candles, and then it's called P3 Health Partners. What's going on with it? News just came out a few minutes ago, and it says Health Partner shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q1 results. That's it. Boom, earnings. So wow. And then so we're going to look back at that and see potential on this stock. We're going to look to the left. And this is almost all, no, it's not. 1113 was an all-time 52-week high, but it's not even 52 weeks. It's a 180 day week, 180 days high. And so here, this was a previous resistance here, so I marked that off and changed that to so 924. So see how I created that high and then it went kind of bounced down. So yeah. So then yesterday's high was 765 and it beat that. So high a day today is 883. And so VWAP is 718. That and it's definitely above VWAP. So it's heating up again. Let's see. So 721 now is VWAP. And let's see. So I have to take it down to the 1 minute to kind of see, like, I think support is about, see that large green candle? This one, it's about VWAP, a little bit above. Okay, so we'll mark it there. Support is about 729. Oops. 729. Oops. I'll just do. So then it dipped. See how it dipped down and it didn't go all the way down to 726. So it didn't go to 729, which was VWAP. Let's see, it went down to 783. So that's good. That's a higher low. Cause see how these candles touch a few times. Now right here, about 771 is support. So I said it was 729. See over here because it touched, but really see it's about up to here. So seven. Let's change this to 771, and that just gives you a reference to say, okay, I think it'll go. Oh Lord, let's go. Let me see. What is this one? Okay, so good. So seven. When do we get in? 8:14. Ooh, let's keep going, keep going. Look at that. Okay, see, that's what exactly what you want because that news just came out. So that's why we have that scanner where we can find those stocks real quick. And the news came out just a few minutes before I looked at it. And all we have to do is you see where VWAP is, it's above VWAP, higher high, higher high. You see the candles. And then if you want to look back, see that's why the 924 is there because it was a previous resistance. So we now know that's going to be a take profit price. You could hold on as long as you want, but like with me, I scalp out, scalp in. You can do that, and now, oh Lord Jesus, shouldn't have got out of that trade. That's what we want to see. Look at it, 904. I'm surprised it's getting ready to halt. Wow, let's go. Oh Lord, yes, hallelujah. Yeah, so for sure, I'm sure it will go to 924. But that's why we're looking back to the left. So information of what happened before is does this stock have the potential to get to to higher highs? So I just changed this to a green because that's our take profit there. So how I got in at 814, got out at 859, and then you see the stock kept moving. Don't worry about that. That you can just always wait for a pullback so you can get back in. You want to like a micro pullback, not a huge pullback, but wait for a pullback and then get back in that trade. So um, that was a great one. Great, great, great. PIII. And all I did was look, you always want to look at the catalyst. Why is it moving up? And then you don't want to make sure it's not a pump and dump because pump and dump is, it'll go really high real quick and then dump and then it'll keep going down. And then you keep thinking it's going to go back up. But this one is uptrend, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Definitely, we love that. That's what we want to see. So 5 minutes, it will resume at 10:09. So you can just put a how you guys doing? If I haven't said hi, hi. My name is Carolyn. I'm a day trader. I've been day trading for 5 years, and I love it. As you see, I get excited. Okay, so you can just create an alert. So this is a halt, and you can do a halt resumption is at Nasdaq. I think it's called Nasdaq.com, and then it'll say halt history, and you can see which stocks have halted, and they always use this halt for 5 minutes. If the stock price goes too fast, like in the next, it goes up. I can't even talk today. Up by 10% too quickly, then it stops all trading for 5 minutes. If it takes longer, it could be 10, but 5 to 10 minutes. But your usual halt time is 5. And then so what I do is I put a mark, and so if I'm looking away or talking, then I'll know that it'll give me alert to let me know that the halt is resumed. So I just create that alert at or above 9:05, because usually it'll spike up and then it'll kind of crash right away. So we always want, or it could keep moving all the way up. So you never know with halts. They're exciting, but you got to have a plan for that. I'm not in a trade right now, but you got to have a plan for what you're going to do when the halt is resumed. And usually it's a good idea, you guys, put your take profit in, put your target in right now or before that, because you don't want to miss this move. If you put it in at like 9:05, great, and then do that. But don't just kind of wait and not know what to do, because it will just tank usually. So, or like I said, it might go through the roof. But either way, be ready. I used to be really afraid of halts when I first started trading. I mean, I was excited, but I didn't know what to do. And then I would lose because I didn't know it was going to tank. I thought it was going to keep going up, up, up. What goes up must come down. Okay, so that one's on the watch list. PIII is up by 124%. And the volume for this 5 minute candle, 2.5 million shares traded. And then I look at that 1 hour. So oh, is that right? Oh yeah, because it's funny. Because in the last hour, that's when we just got the news. So 2.5 million shares traded. So in the last 5 minutes, that's where all the action was. And then this one was actually, no, the hour before that was 5 points. So that's great. We're doing good. What a day. Okay, so this, oh yeah, AUUD, I think we turned away from that one. That's almost a nothing burger, isn't it? Nothing. AUUD, I had looked at that one too. See how this one's just trading in the range. You don't want to even try to figure this one out yet until it breaks. And so I always say, like, it has to break this 214, and then I'm going to watch it, and then I'll see what's going to do. But otherwise, this trading in the range BS, I can't do it. And then it might just tank. So this one looks like it may fall. This was nothing really, no news really. I think it was, oh, they filed a S4, and it's a merger. But it's interesting that nothing's going on with that one. Ain't nothing going on but the rent. I got to have Jay over here. Ain't nothing going on with the rent. Okay, so 2.08 shares are being traded. But yeah, that's not what I want to see. This was a great pre-market move. 239 was the high, and now it's pulling all the way back. Okay, so this one resumed and awesome. See, it went all the way up to this almost 1904. Now it's even going higher. So see, all you're doing is, okay, so even after it resumed, you're gonna watch it still, because we still don't want it to tank. So you could still scalp and get in. So see how it pulled back to 879. That's awesome. Let's go. Woo! That's nice, huh? That's the kind of moves you want right there. That's exactly what you want to see. See how it halted, and it was at 904 where it halted. Then it went to 924, previous resistance, broke that, and now it's moving up even higher. Huge. There's a lot of people that was waiting for that news, that good news. Oh, let's go. This one's heating up. See? So it takes a minute, but you just watch it. That's why you always want to put an alert. And so this is resistance. This is BIYA. That's resistance there. And with me, once it breaks through that resistance, see, it has potential to get all the way up to 139, 140. So see it, there it is. We want that volume to come in a little bit more. Yeah. So see how it broke that resistance, and then see, will it get to 139? And that's just 10 cents. So see, we're with small caps, you're not shooting for the moon every time. You're just buying more shares, and then you want it to just get up 5 cents, 10 cents, and then that's why you're just going to scalp in and scalp out. Or you're going to buy like, you can buy like 2,000 shares and then take half off the table if it gets to a certain price, and then take another half off the table. So see that volume is increasing. You see that volume bar there. And then so the take profit, let's say 139. So what I did is I wrote down on in my journal where I got in, and then the take profit, and then your stop loss have to have that. So your stop loss could be at like 121, because VWAP is 121.66. Let's see. And some trades are pretty quick. I like my trades to be really quick. When I day trade, I don't want it to be to take forever. Is this one? Nope, that one's sad. Woo, this one just tanked. See that one? HCWB. This was yesterday's news, like I was saying. And so it just, there it is, and now it's tanking. So you would have had to, if you were to make this move, you had to make it early. This one's cooling off just a little bit, but see how that is? It pulled back. Now we see that support is at about 8, 66, something around there. So support, see? Now we're going to see if it's bouncing off support. Oops. Let's go. See that? That's good. BIYA. So we have BI. Let me write it down. BIYA is on the list. AUUD. HCWB, we were looking at that earlier, but that one's taken. So that one's down a little bit. It's still up by 235%. So it might heat up later, but it was on yesterday's news. And see this candle, huge candle, broke above that resistance, and now it's on its way back down. Playing with us. And so you see your stop loss, mine is at one, right at VWAP, but see it went a little bit below. So if you want to, you can say your stop loss can be down here 116, but it's up to you, because you're gonna, whatever risk you're gonna take with the amount of shares that you have on. But right now it looks like just about VWAP is support. And then it just wicks down a little bit to like 119. SanDisk is going good. Okay, so we have BIYA and oh P, isn't this one? Yeah, P. Oh, see how this, okay. Prime example. It halted up and it went to 904. That was the halt level. And then it went all the way up to 983. You had a chance to get a bunch of money at that point. And then you can't just hold forever and just think you're in winter wonderland or whatever, in heaven. And so you then now it's halting to the downside because now everyone's selling because they're not sure if it'll go any higher. So see that? So 824, it halted at 1015 and it will resume at like 1020, 1021. But just be careful. If you're in that trade, don't just keep holding and holding and holding and holding. You got to take some money off the table. You have to do a trailing stop. So if you were in at like 950 or something, you have to have that trailing stop so you can get some profit. You don't want to lose all your profit. I that's a was a big thing for me when I was starting to trade is that I would, just I would hold a little too long. Of course, in the very beginning, I really held it too long. But even within the last year or so, I would think that it was just going to go to the moon, and then I just like damn, and then I could be like 5 cents away from my take profit, and I would take the money, and then sometimes I wouldn't do a trailing stop. So now I make sure I'll do a trailing stop and do that. So some days, honestly, I have a mental stop in mind, but I don't put a physical stop loss in the think or swim. It's just something about that. It's just I feel like it's gonna hit your stop, so I just like I trade without a net sometimes. But you don't do that. Don't do that. Make sure you do a stop loss. And if you need help, learning how to do a stop loss where you do brackets, it's called an OCO bracket. Just message me. Here, let's go, SanDisk. Let's go. 1401. That money's stacking up. Watch the money pile up. I'm silly. So let's see that one. Ooh, boy, this one's really tanking. Okay, see how this one's coming back. So one, it bounced off of one. There's VWAP. It bounced off of VWAP, that little hammer candle right there. You see that? So see it bounce off of VWAP, and let's see what it can do if it's going to heat up a little bit. That's HCWB. And I am going to okay, so I am going to end there, and I just kind of wanted to show you a little something, something. That one's dying there. I had given you that one. B, this one's trying. Okay, see, we got higher highs. So there's with this candle, it's moving above that large, huge engulfing candle. That's a good sign. Good sign, good sign, good sign. And oh my God, look at Nvidia. SanDisk is doing good. Okay, so yeah, thank you for joining me on my live. I'll be back next Friday, coming about 8:30 in the morning. So we'll do our watch list a little bit better this time because I think I was running a little late. But we'll start at 8:30, and then I will see you next week. Make sure you hit the link for my journals. My journals are really cool. They give you room to write in every single day that you trade, your emotions, your rules that you'll follow, things that I can work on today, and things that what I did right today. I always want you to pat yourself on the back. So things I did right today as well. And this one's called Buy the Rumor, Sell the News. And these are all based on my rules. So I have another one that's called I will obey my stop. That's my number one rule that I need to obey, but it's rule number 16. And then I also have that one's got prompts in it. And then this one is all I see is green. We know what that is. We love the money. And then this one's just blank. And so every day that you trade, you may need to write a little bit more. Some of us are more emotional than others, or you can write your strategy in here. You can write your watch list. It's blank, so you can do what you want to do. It's your business, what you want to do with your journals. And then you can also hit the my Linktree link if you want my top 10 day trading rules. And you have to have rules when you day trade. You just can't day trade all willy-nilly with no discipline and getting in and out. And you see how I traded. I waited and I was methodical. I wrote things down, and then I just didn't just jump in because it was moving, just like we looked at PIII. But I waited for that one. You just do quick technicals, and then you get in, you see it's moving, but you still need to have some parameters and rules. And if you don't have rules, then you won't know. If you do win, you don't know, when you did a trade, like, how did I do that? So you just want to make sure you be methodical and stick to some rules, and that's going to create your discipline. So I will see you in the next video, and have a good day.